knowledge or anything to interfere with it. So that is why the Acharya state is called the Shudra state, or a perfect listening state. The second state is Padam Shishya Sumethaya. Now, having listened from the teacher and verbally understood it, now he also compares with his previous knowledge and tries to critically analyze what is gained by him and then really arrive at an understanding. And that I relate to Vaishya, which is interactive learning. Vaishya is a businessman, and businessman has no distinction. Somebody gives you 2 rupees, I give the commodity for 2 rupees. It is true for everyone. Everyone is treated equally. Anyone comes, it is 2 rupees. You appreciate this? So a contractual level dealing, that is equal in importance for any thought which comes. So the student, no higher and lower thoughts. Each thought he can compare with equal objectivity and then decide which is right and wrong. So pure objectivity with which you are able to analyze is what is called the Vaishya state. And the next state is Padam Sa Brahmacharibhya. By discussing with good classmates, Sa is important, very good classmates, you learn more. You have formed an idea of your own by having listened to the teacher. Then what is the next step? You now go to a classmate of yours who also have already thought about it and has his own ideas. Now your ideas may not match. He has some idea, your friend has a different idea. Now you two discuss together and then you decide a better understanding of both of your understanding. So by discussion, here it can go into an argument also. That is why it is called the Kshatriya state or the fighting state. Here 2 strong different arguments are there. And then you have to really argue and establish your knowledge. And the last state is Padam Kalakramenaja, in due course of time. Which means what? By experiencing or implementing your knowledge in life, you gain experience, and from the experience you learn further. That is practicing the knowledge which you have already gained, or leave the knowledge. And that is what is called the Brahmana state. So leave the knowledge and gain more experience, then your knowledge becomes perfect. As I said earlier, the knowledge part alone is what we are going to worry about. We have to also develop the behavioral aspects. And the behavioral aspects definitely has to be learned up to the heart level. And that heart level, imbibing of knowledge is what is called samskara. You will not do a wrong thing. You will always be able to discriminate and do the right action. So here we have explained the samskara, which also has to be developed in the due course of your education. So the first grade, I have called it A1 and A2. And a person of that grade will not do anything wrong or will follow dharma or the right action even when nobody is there. He is free to do any nonsense, but even then he will never do anything wrong. He will do only the right action. Such a person has the highest grade. And the next grade is one who will not follow dharma. Not follow dharma when nobody is present. So he feels little free to do something wrong if nobody is watching him. And the next lower grade is one with B1 grade. And if anyone, even unknown person is present there, he is restricted from doing the wrong thing. Okay? Such a person will have B2 grade. And still lower is one who will be restrained only if your relatives are there or known persons are there. If known persons are there, then he will not like to do a wrong thing. And the next lower grade is D1. Only if your close relatives like your mother and father is there, then only you will not do a wrong thing. Otherwise you are tempted to do the wrong thing. And the last grade is, or the lowest grade is for a person who can do the wrong thing even when a teacher is there. In front of a teacher, a person with even little culture will not do something wrong. If he can do something wrong in the presence of teacher, then he is supposed to have a very low culture. In fact, in the Mahabharata, Duryodhana is supposed to have this level of culture because, he asked Draupadi to be disrobed in front of his own teacher and grandparents and parents. That's why we know how Duryodhana is not the person of dharma. And beyond which, of course, they are all criminals. And unless a policeman stands with the gun in front of him, he cannot be restrained. And of course, this should also probably make you look at yourself and see what grade of culture you already have. Would you listen to your teacher when he says something? Or would you not listen to your teacher? What about you listening to your parents? Would you do something in front of your parents? And so on. And then you should, with that analysis, decide how much evolution you have to now go through. And of course, samskara can also be understood at a different level. What we discussed now is when a person has the same, or a normal mental condition. But if he has a, condition where a normal condition, most people behave well. But a person who behaves well even under provocation, he is definitely having a higher level of culture. And that is how, of course, Jesus Christ is considered a person of an extremely high culture, because even when he was being crucified, he prayed for his tormentors to be pardoned. His prayer was, God forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. His own tormentors he could pray to be pardoned. So you can imagine his very high level of culture. Same is true of Vishnu. Vishnu was supposed to be enjoying his time, and then Bhrigu comes in and he kicks him in the chest. And having realized his mistake, Vishnu falls at the feet of Bhrigu and says, forgive me that I did not notice you come in. Even when provoked, he could have his equanimity and know what is the right action and do the right action. So that is why they have become people who are worshipped. And next, of course, is based on the influence people have on others. People with higher level of culture elevates those who come to them also to higher levels. Typical example is that of Buddha. Angulimala, who was such a cruel dacoit, who used to cut off the fingers of the people who used to pass by the forest and wear it as a garland in his neck. When he came in front of Buddha, all that he could do was to surrender to him and ask him to be accepted as a disciple. Obviously, Buddha has an extremely high culture. Whereas people of a low culture also brings down even people of good level. If you look at yourself, when a good student wants to sit and study, what do? You go and make him also not study. So you can understand what is your culture. Are you of a higher culture or are you of a lower culture? This is the same reason why we say fashion parades are not good. Because fashion parades normally bring down your thoughts to the physical level. Because if you understand the three different levels of spiritual, mental and physical level, physical level is considered the lowest level, mental level is considered the higher level, and spiritual level is considered the highest level. Of course, this is also understood from your understanding of science. For instance, if you take the beginning of science, Tycho Brahe is the one who really started the modern science. What did Tycho Brahe do? He recorded the position of planets for over a period of 20 years. But how many of you have really heard of Tycho Brahe? See, hardly few of you only have heard of Tycho Brahe. But using the data developed by Tycho Brahe, Kepler developed the laws of motion. He did a lot of mental work to analyze the data, fit into new equations and so on. He worked at the mental level. Kepler is known more than Tycho Brahe. So obviously, physical level work is of a lower nature than the mental level. And now look at people who have attained spiritually. They are not just respected. They are not at the known level. They are worshipped. So spiritual level obviously is a much higher level than the mental level. And mental level is definitely at a higher level than the physical level. So a person who brings your level to the higher spiritual level is definitely of a person of higher culture. And if somebody brings you down to the physical level, it's a person of a lower culture. So there we come to the end of the talk. And then if you have any questions, we can have a few discussions. No questions? Okay, then we will stop. So goodbye. Have a nice time.